Stay tuned for Airgun Detectives.
Welcome to a special episode of Airgun Detectives. I'm your host, JC, and today we're going to take the mystery out of the BARRA 250z. And we don't just have one, we got both calibers. We've got the 25 caliber and the 22 caliber. But this is going to be a little longer video today. So grab a cup of coffee or any of your favorite beverage, maybe put this thing on pause, get yourself ready, and then sit back and enjoy this. It's going to be a little longer than usual because we're going to do a full review on both these rifles, along with I have some special optics that I just got in from Discovery, and I'm telling you, it's one of the best scopes I've ever put my eye through. You got to check that out. Anyway, before we get started, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button down in the corner. Won't cost you anything. It's absolutely free, but it really does help support the channel. And speaking of supporting the channel, check out my website, www.airgundetectives.com. On that site, I've got my Generation 2 bipods, which you can see sitting right here on these new BARRA rifles. I also have t-shirts, I've got hats, and also check out my inventory. I have, occasionally I'll put some stuff on there and try to get rid of the old so I can get some of the new. Also, you gammo shooters that have the gammo break barrels with the SAT or CAT triggers, don't forget, I have the trigger screw kits. They're extremely affordable, but it'll change the whole dynamics of your rifle, really will. All right, back to the subject on hand. These are the BARRA 250z's. These are brand new PCPs. And we've got one in 25 caliber, and they come in two colors only. They come in the tan and then the camo here. The camo's in 22. I've got the tan here in 25 caliber. They're basically the same rifle, so I'm just going to set this one out of the way. You'll see more of this when we're out there testing, that's for sure. But anyway, this is BARRA's newest PCP rifle. And what exactly is the BARRA 250z? As I said before, they come in 22 and 25 caliber, two finishes, tan and camo. Okay, so the tank on this, notice you don't see a tank. You don't see a tank? Hello, where's the tank? The tank on this is actually the barrel shroud. This barrel shroud is actually a 322 cc reservoir tank. So this holds 322 cc's of compressed air. Speaking of compressed air, this is a 3,625 psi fill, so a 3,600 psi fill. It's externally regulated. So you've got a regulator, and I'm going to show you at the end how you adjust the regulator. But you've got your regulator adjustment here, and then you have your tank pressure, and then your regulated pressure both right there. Real handy. Really nice. Also, this rifle has an adjustable hammer spring. So you can adjust the pressure of your regulator and adjust the hammer spring. So if you're one of those that's a hunter and you want to get just a few shots that are extremely powerful, and you can definitely do that. You're just not going to get as many shots. Or you can back it off a little bit and you'll get more shots at a little lower velocity. And I'll tell you where we'll set this before we go. Actually, I'm going to tell you right now. We're going to set this at 2,000 psi, and our hammer string is just going to be set even with the back of the breech. And I will show you at the end of the video of how you adjust this stuff. It's very, very easy. This rifle weighs about 8 pounds. It's got a great two-stage trigger here. It's a bolt action that can be decocked. It definitely can be decocked, just like this. We got the 1/2 by 20 thread here, right here on the rifle. So if you want to put a suppressor on there, you can. And guess what? Terry at Buck Rail has this brand new suppressor. Just came out with this new suppressor. And I'm going to show you guys the performance of it. But the cool thing about it is it's set up with baffles, and you can adjust how many baffles you want on them. You can have all the baffles, or let's just say you make it shorter. You can show you this. You can unscrew this. You can screw this part back in. Now you have a shorter suppressor. So it's so versatile. But I'm going to show you the performance on these. Terry never ceases to amaze me. He had the typical suppressor that he still sells. It's out there. And now he's even upgraded it with these adjustable baffles. So you gotta like that. You gotta like that. All right, a little more on the gun. The polymer stock. This has the key mods on it. You can see the key mod channels. Because of that, I was able to put my Generation 2 bipods on there, and it makes just a tremendous, tremendous shooting platform. Rifle, 42 inches overall. It's got a 27-inch barrel, and these magazines are all metal with the exception of the plastic cover on the front. But the rest of it, they're all metal magazine. They're not plastic. So the 22 caliber are their 10-shot, 10-round magazines. You get 2 of those. And the 25 caliber, they're 9-shot, and you'll get 2 of those. Also comes with a single-shot tray. So you got your single-shot tray if you don't want to use the magazine. And then you have your probe. This comes with a Picatinny-style scope rail. And the scope that's on this, guys, I told you before, I will not bring you any product or show you any product if I don't strongly believe in it. I came across this scope recently. This is put out by Discovery. This is a 1:8 by 24 with a 34 millimeter tube on it. And this is actually Discovery's own scope mount. They make scope mounts too. The different, they give me rings, one-piece mount, the whole bit. I got a one-piece mount on this. But this scope, I'm going to tell you right now, it is the best glass I have ever looked through. This has 6-level illumination. It's got that Christmas tree type reticle. It's so awesome with the fine little dot there. And this is a first focal plane on this. And it is simply amazing. I'm telling you guys, the glass on this is unreal. I've never seen such easy and open eye relief. I mean, literally, some scopes, you know how you're trying to get your eye focused and you get a shadow in there the whole bit. This, there's no shadow. You just throw your eye up in front of it and it's there. I'm telling you, by far, this is the best scope I have ever looked through glass-wise. I'm telling you, this scope is unbelievable. And I would not go on and on about something like this if I didn't truly believe in it. And yeah, you guys just so keep that in mind. And I'm going to use this on the 22 caliber throughout the review. Then we'll talk about it a little bit more at the end. But this rifle is just awesome setup. It really is. And a 2-stage trigger, fully adjustable, first and second stage. There's the adjustment screws in there. And so you can really dial this thing in. But again, what we're going to do today is we're going to review both of those. So I'm going to go through chronos on both of these, accuracy on both of these. Obviously the trigger test and the plinking, we'll just use one rifle. But I want you guys to see the difference between the 25 and the 22. Because you might be on the fence. Well, should I buy the 25 or 22? It's going to be entirely up to you. You're going to decide, but I'm going to show you the performance of both these. So, as I said, I'm really excited about this. I just love the looks of this gun with no tank underneath. This shroud, it's just absolutely ingenious. Oh, and the other thing, don't think there and go, oh, that's a snow peak. It's not a snow peak. I'm going to make that clear. Have you ever looked at a Mustang and you got a V6 in one? It looks pretty cool, but it doesn't really perform. And then you have the big, powerful V8 in the other. Even though it looks the same on the outside, completely different. And this is definitely its own design. It really is. So let's go out and test it, and then we're going to come back and talk about it. So I'm really looking forward to this. So let's move on to the next segment. All right, we're going to test out our 250Zs for some velocity. We're going to start with the 22 caliber. When we're done with that, we're going to move on to the 25 caliber. We're going to go ahead and shoot over the Crony some of these JTS dead centers. They're 18.1 grain. And then I'm going to show you how well it did with another pellet. Also, I'm going to take 2 shots over the Crony and look at the DBA as well, our noise. And then I've got the brand new suppressor from Terry. These just came out. These things are amazing. I'm going to put this on the gun and we're going to shoot 2 more and I'm going to show you the difference because it is so obvious. It really is. All right, so let's shoot a couple shots over the Crony. We'll see where we're at. All right, 997. $999, almost 1,000 feet per second. Okay, now let's put on the suppressor real quick. I'm going to do that real quick, and then we'll shoot the other 3 shots. All right, let's shoot 3 more shots. And now we've got the buck rail suppressor on there. So Terry's latest. So let's see how well we do. Oh my God. I cannot tell you how quiet this rifle is now. Yeah, I don't know if you guys can experience there, but I could shoot this at midnight in the backyard now. All right, that was shot number 3. Shot number 4, 995, and one more shot. 997. You guys, you cannot believe how awesome this suppressor is until you're witnessing it compared to without it. That's crazy. All right, so there's your average feet per second, your foot-pounds of energy with our 18.1 grain. Now, another pellet that it did actually well with is the H&N slugs. These are a 21 grain slug. We averaged 942 feet per second, and it gave us about 42 foot-pounds of energy. Not too shabby at all, not too shabby. Okay, let's move on and try the 25 caliber. All right, let's go ahead and test our 25 caliber. This one, we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna start out with the JTS dead centers because they perform really, really well in this rifle. And these are a 25.39 grain. And then I'm gonna show you, when we're done with this, testing this, I'm gonna tell you how they did with a slug. Same thing, we've got our 25 caliber suppressor from Terry at Buck Rail. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna shoot 2 shots. I'm going to put the suppressor on and show you guys the difference because it is absolutely night and day. Takes this from a rifle that's a little bit loud and for the backyard to something you could shoot at midnight. Really. All right, so let's shoot 5 shots. See how well we do. All right, shot number 1. 891. Shot number 2. 882. Okay, let's throw the suppressor on real quick. All right, now we're suppressed. 3 more shots. This is going to be shot number 3. 884. Shot number 4. 883. And shot number 5. 883. Wow, what a standard deviation, low standard deviation. Now I had both these rifles. They're set with a hammer spring that's even in the back adjustment, and I will show that to you at the end of the video. And also we're set at 2,000 PSI on our regulator. So 2,000 PSI, and we're even tension with the hammer spring in the back. That's what's so great about these rifles. They're totally adjustable. But again, Terry with these suppressors, these are the newest version, and they are so awesome. I cannot compliment him enough. The guy is just always coming up with something new and ingenious, that's for sure. Okay, let's, oh, I forgot to tell you. The slugs, real quick. 835 feet per second average. This is with a 30 grain slug. 835 feet per second, 46.5 foot-pounds of energy. Not too shabby. Okay, now we can move on to the next segment. All right, let's test the 250Z out for some accuracy here. What we're going to do today, we're going to I'm going to do 2 targets for you. We're going to first shoot the JTS, the 18.1 grain, 22 obviously, and then we're going to go to the HB slugs. These are a 21 grain slug. So what we're going to do is we're going to do 5 shots in each target. I'm going to start out with the JTS. We'll do 5 shots with those. Then we're going to go ahead and do another 5 shots with the slugs. Okay, when we've got that wrapped up, I'm going to put up 2 new targets. We're going to move to the 25 caliber rifle, and we're going to do the same thing because I want you guys to see both calibers, how both calibers perform with both standard pellets and then slugs. So we're the usual 40 yards. It's a little over 40 yards. This is our PCP distance. Go ahead and check that out real quick. You see we got 2 targets setting up there. And speaking of targets, we're going to be using our HD targets. These are our 6-inch targets. As you guys know, I like using the HDs and the splatter bursts because they really show the impact points on camera really well. So we're going to go ahead and do those. Like I said, we're going to do 5 shots. Don't worry so much about if we hit inside the orange. I want to go for grouping. We want to see how tight a groups we get. Now I am going to aim dead center, and we'll just see how this works out. Okay, so again, we are going to start with the JTS 18.1 grain pellets and go from there. All right. Okay, fire in the hole, as they say. All right, shot number 1. I'll take that. Shot number 2. Wow, that's a good group so far. Shot number 3. I'm not worried about jinxing it because this thing is a tack driver. There's shot number 3. And shot number 4. Guys, I can't tell you how awesome this scope is. It has one of the clearest glasses I have ever looked through. And oh my God, the eye relief on it is just amazing. Okay, so we got one more shot. One more shot. Wow. Wow. I will take that group any day of the week. All right, let's see how well it performs with the slugs now. All righty. Okay, got our nice fresh target there. Let's do 5 shots. We'll see how well these slugs group now. Okay. All right, we are in the orange. And we are still in the orange. Okay, shot number 3. All righty, shot number 4. And one more. Can we keep them in the orange? Yes, we can. All right, that's your performance on your slug. So you got your conventional 18.1 grain pellets and your slugs, but that's some pretty doggone good grouping at a little over 40 yards. It really is. All right, let's go ahead and try the 25 caliber and see how well it performs. All right, we got our 25 caliber now. Of course, my optics aren't nearly as nice as the ones that are on the 22, I'm telling you, but we'll talk more about that Discovery scope later. Anyway, I'm going to show you the 2 different pellets here. The JTS dead centers, the 25.39 grain pellets. So we'll do a target with 5 shots of those, and then we'll go ahead and do the slug hollow points. Everything else is exactly the same, except we have 2 fresh targets. So here we go. Let's see here. Hold on, got to line up the cover. There we go. Okay, 5 shots. Let's see if we can do as well as we did before with the 22. All right, shot number 1. Oh yeah. Shot number 2. Shot number 3. Wow. Shot number 4. God, these triggers are so nice. And shot number 5. All right. That was your JTS. Now we're going to do our H&N slugs. These are a 30 grain pellet. So these are a 30 grain. 30 grain slug. Okay, new target. Oh yeah, that's 1. That's 2. Ah, this thing hits hard. 3. 4. One more. 5. Wow. Man, these rifles, they are absolutely amazing. And I just tickled to death how they do the tank and the shroud around the barrel. I just think that is just awesome. Really awesome. But anyway, those are your 2 targets. Those are pretty doggone impressive for 40 plus yards. They really are. So let's go ahead and move on to the trigger test as far as the pull weight goes on our 250Zs here. The 25 and the 22, the triggers are identical. I have them adjusted exactly the same way, but they are pretty outstanding triggers. You just got to do a little adjustment. Fortunately, there is adjustment on these, but they're fantastic. They really are. But let's actually see what the pull weight is. Go ahead and cock this. Got our trusty Lyman trigger gauge here. Let's see what happens. £1 pound, 8.2 ounces. Yep, £1 pound, 8.2 ounces. Incredible triggers. They really are. They thought of all of it with this one, I'm telling you. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the next segment. All right, my favorite part of every review video is the plinking portion. And this is no exception. Are you kidding me? I am so looking forward to this. Especially with this Discovery scope on there. I cannot emphasize again, this is probably one of the best scopes I've ever looked for. And wait till I cover the price point on this thing at the end. You guys are not even going to believe it. But I am just, I'm just absolutely blown away. Just like I am with these rifles. These rifles are great. But what we're going to do now is our plinking. We're going to go ahead and shoot the JTS. These are the 22 caliber, the 18.1 grain. Just for fun, I threw Terry's suppressor on there, the Buckrell suppressor. We're going to go over those at the end too. Because it really quiets this rifle down, as you guys can see. Anyway, let's knock down our targets here. We're a little over 40 yards. Go ahead and check that out real quick. We've got a big ram there, a couple little teeny shotgun shells, some eggs, a little pipe. So we're going to try our luck at all those, and hopefully we're going to hit everything we're aiming at. So, but let's start with the shotgun shells, and then we'll, since those are the lightest and the most that can be knocked around, let's hit the shotgun shells first. And then we'll hit the other target. So the one right in front of the ram. I don't know how I still took those other targets out. I was trying to take the shotgun shell out first, but that's all right. Now let's hit the shotgun shell on the right side. This thing is a tack driver, guys. It's unbelievable. And you believe how quiet this thing is? I'm sure you can catch it on camera. This thing is so quiet. Thanks to Terry's suppressor there. How about the little egg? And it hits hard. It definitely has an impact. All right, let's take the little chicken out there. Yeah, you can hear it just smack that steel. It's crazy. And how about a headshot on the ram? We're getting greedy here. Oh yeah. This thing, I'm telling you, wherever you aim, you put that little dot on exactly what you want to hit, and that pellet goes right there. I love that combination. Where then it's 100% on the shooter, and not on the gun if you miss, that's for sure. But this is just, I'm telling you, what a package. Anyway, let's go ahead and wrap this thing up. We'll chat a little bit more about it. All right, let's wrap this up with our conclusion here. I have one word to describe basically the whole package here. Awesome. Simply awesome. Okay, so like anything else, we'll get into the negatives. There really isn't much. And you know me, I'm so picky. I would say probably my only negative. First of all, these magazines are awesome. They're solid metal. But I don't like, it's got the little plastic cover, and I realize it, so you have to see through that. I wish these had the magazines where you just load and spin, load and spin. This has the magazine that you do have to put the pellet in backwards and then load the other ones. Okay, I told you I'm being really, really picky. Because other than that, as far as the spin type magazines, these are the best I've ever seen because they're all metal. They really are. I mean, you can see just the whole metal inner spline. The shell is metal. The only thing is clear plexiglass is the window on the outside. But you need that so you can see what's happening with the pellets on the inside. So anyway, that's my only negative. That's it. Other than that, let's just get into this rifle and how awesome it really is. Okay, so first of all, the look and the style and the fact it's got the hidden tank, I just think is simply amazing. This, you know, sometimes PCP rifles can be a little obnoxious looking with the big tanks hanging out, and it's just, I don't know, it doesn't look so traditional. This looks fantastic. It really does. And what's amazing is you're getting that 322cc tank in here too. So you got a good amount of air, and it's concealed. It's hidden. It's fantastic that way. I like the stock. I like the camo stock and then the tan one as well. I like the AR style grip. It's got the AR style grip. The adjustable buttstock, which is nice. And this, I didn't cover this in the beginning, but this has an elevation as far as for your cheek rest, which is kind of nice. So if you want to elevate that, just adjust this here with this screw. The bolt action on this is extremely smooth. It really is. It's nice and smooth. Great trigger. Once you dial that trigger in, it's really, really nice. I thought a really nice touch on this as well is the 1/2x20. Because with the 1/2x20, you can put Terry's new suppressors on here. And these suppressors, his new suppressors are fantastic. They even come with its own little wrench because you can adjust how many baffles you want on here. You can reduce them. So if you just want the gun, let's just say you want it 25% quieter, you just, determine how many baffles you need to live in there. You want the max quietness, you leave all the baffles in there. And you might, let's say you have a pistol that fits this. You can reduce the size of it so it fits your pistol. But Terry, you hit an absolute home run with these. Guys, I'll leave you a link down below for buck rail. So if you guys are interested in these, I'm telling you. Oh, and these retail, I think the new ones are right around that $60 mark. But I'm telling you, the quality is insane. If you compare it to the old ones still work great, don't get me wrong. But these new ones, they're just they're heavier, a little bit more solid. And I'd like the flexibility that you can adjust the amount of baffles on this. That's just kind of cool. It's an extra, just a little bonus. And then again, here is the little adjustment wrench, so you can set that up. And it'll come with both of those. So he did an outstanding job with that. Anyway, but I love that 1/2x20 on here. Another thing about this gun, the accuracy was simply amazing. It really was. Guys, you saw my groups from 40 yards out. That was just, just amazing. A really accurate gun is so much fun to shoot because then the air is never on the gun, it's on the shooter. And then that's some skills that you can improve on, so which is great. Nothing frustrates you more when you have your gun perfectly lined up and all of a sudden the pellets are fluctuating on your point of impact. I don't like that whatsoever. None of you should. But the accuracy is amazing. Okay, as far as performance go, I charted this thing out for you. Now keep in mind, we set this, we set the regulator at 2,000 PSI, and we set the hammer spring just even with the back of the breech. And this is the performance we got, because I wanted a balance between a good shot count and good velocity. Now keep in mind, if you create more pressure on that hammer spring and you increase the amount of pressure on the regulator, you're going to get a higher velocity, more foot-pounds of energy, and less of a shot count. Okay, but anyway, let's go back. Check out this chart. So we set it up again, 2,000 PSI. We got 45 regulated shots out of that. Hammer spring even with the back breech, but 45 shots. And notice I did both the 22 and the 25 on the same chart, but look how consistent they both were. You're just going to get a little bit more foot-pounds of energy out of the 25 caliber. In fact, out of the 25 caliber, we got 44 foot-pounds of energy, and then you see in the 22, you see our velocity there, and we averaged about 40 foot-pounds of energy, which is kind of normal because the 25 caliber is a larger mass pellet. You're pushing more mass downrange. So, but anyway, good performance out of these. So the cool thing is that this is completely adjustable to your liking, however you want to do that. And speaking of adjustments, okay, so as far as the hammer spring goes, there's one screw on the bottom of this rifle. You just got to unscrew that and it will take the stock off. Once the stock comes off, you'll see in this photo up here, there's a big screw there that you screw that in, it puts pressure on the hammer spring. So you just determine how far you want to screw that in. Now, as far as the regulator goes, the regulator, if you look at this little gold Allen head here, you're just going to adjust that. And this, it's pretty simple. So you want to adjust it. If you want more PSI, you're just going to move this counterclockwise, and it's going to increase the PSI on your regulated pressure. Now, if you want less PSI, you're going to have to degas this below the setting you want to go. So let's say you have a setting, you're at 2,500 and you want to go down to 2,000, okay? So shoot your gun and make sure it's empty, no magazine in it. You're just going to have to keep dry firing it and get that pressure below your 2,000 mark, just below it. And then what you're going to do is you're going to turn the Allen wrench in clockwise and only go about a quarter of a turn or so. But it's okay if you're going this direction to, let's say, again, you want 2,000 PSI. So you crank this maybe, let's just say you do a half a turn. And you gas it back up. And now you're at 1,900 PSI, but you really want to be to 2,000. Well, then just slightly go counterclockwise with that screw until you get to the exact pressure that you want, the 2,000. So it's really, really simple. You don't have to take the stock off. You don't have to do anything like that. The key is you just have to degas it below the pressure you want if you're going to decrease your regulated pressure. If you're going to increase it, you can do it with the pressure. Just make sure your gun's unloaded. Just slowly open up that Allen screw and you'll get to the desired pressure. Very, very simple. They made it really, really easy for you to fine-tune this rifle. I like the M-locks on this too, because why? I just got some M-lock screws and attached my Generation 2 bipods to it, and it makes a terrific shooting platform. Also, I got to touch on this scope again. This Discovery scope, and I'm going to tell you, especially after shooting this for a while on this rifle, in fact, I'm going to have to get one for my AR, because I've never, ever, ever seen optics this clear in such an easy eye relief. Oh my God. And if you notice, go looking back at some of those videos when I'm shooting, my eye relief, I mean, it's several inches. It's back here, and there's just nothing to getting it focused. Like I said, I mean, this is an absolute pleasure to shoot. And I cannot believe that this is at a $200 price mark. I'm going to leave you guys a link down below for it. I would highly, highly recommend this. I mean, honestly, this is one of the most awesome scopes I've ever used. It really is. And that's regardless of price. Believe me, I've messed with some $1,000 scopes. This right here, it's the best value I think I've ever seen, really. So what do we have here? You've got a BARRA rifle. By the way, these are going to be in the low 400s, just so you know, low 400s. You got a scope that's about 200, and you have a suppressor from Terry, a buck rail, that's around 60 bucks. What a package. I'm telling you, you can't get a better setup for this. So you know what I would do? I would give the rifle, the scope, and the suppressor all 5 stars. They're all 5 stars, without a doubt. And I'll tell you, I haven't been this passionate about a new PCP or air rifle in a long time. And I think maybe just because it's just this whole new style with this barrel shroud being your tank. I just like it so much because it's really going to appeal to you conventional powder burner shooters, because you're not going to, like I said, you're not going to have that obvious tank on this thing. And the performance matches the looks. It really does. Anyway, I know this was a long review, but I wanted to cover both these rifles for you and these great accessories. So anyway, don't forget, this is where we take the mystery out of the air gun. I hope you and your families are doing well and you're getting lots and lots of shooting in. So take care and God bless. Till next time.